getting everything established before you say, I'm in, I'm good. You got to do that homework.
So many people are moving to Florida. Would you go down there and build a house?
You know, it's funny that you asked that question because that was just asked of me about a week ago of somebody that is aggressively looking for uh, land and asked me would I go to Florida, and I said I would. I will say this. Okay, it's always easy to say to somebody, "Oh, absolutely, I'll be more than happy to go to Florida and build your house." But I don't do that. It's no different than what we just talked about with like new product, right? And doing the homework and wait, and instead of just jumping in and recommending something.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
will go to Florida. Okay, just like I went to Long Beach Island or I went to the Jersey Shore, and I want to get the lay of the land, right? I want to understand how is it done here. What are the building codes? What are the trades like here? What is the subcontractor base? What is the quality? How do they maintain schedule? Um, and that's critical.
How will you do that? Like in like when you're going to Long Beach Island, and it really is remote, even though it's not, I mean, it's not that far, but it's far enough where it is remote. Um,
Yeah,
and then you have a whole different set of subcontractors. You have a whole different
you
set
do.
of regulations. You have different townships and municipalities you have to deal with. Doesn't that really make the whole process more challenging?
It does. And how do you do it? Excellent question. You go to Long Beach Island. You drive around, you see houses under construction. Okay. You understand the municipality, who's head of code enforcement, what are the codes, what are the zoning codes, all of that. And you know, you just start digging around and start talking to people. So you might see a house under construction and listen, I have no problem pulling over and going up and introducing myself to whoever. If there's an electrician, or talking to a project foreman or superintendent on that job and say, "Hey, I'm from Philadelphia and I have a client interested in having us build a house down here. Can you give me kind of some of the ins and outs?" And there, I've never had a negative experience with that. They're like, "Oh, that's great," and they'll give me the inside scoop. They will give me, stay away from this sub, or I highly recommend this one and this is why. Or they'll tell me about the code inspectors, the building inspectors. They'll tell me the lay of the land there. And um, so it's not just a one trip down there, it's several. And it's several phone calls, and it's meeting people face to face, and getting everything established before you say, I'm in, I'm good, I'm ready to build this thing, I'll do the job. You really have to, you got to do that homework.